And let's just start. Well,
Right.
hello, guys.
Hi there.
Hello.
So, you are a couple of Germans
Yeah.
in Latvia on the 16th of March. I'm not sure if you are aware, if you chose the date specifically, but today is sort of a remembrance day for I'm not sure how to call them in English, I guess legionnaires. You know, those guys who fight in the army,
Yeah.
right? So it's a sort of a controversial date because on one side you have those patriots who basically say, well, they fought for our country, right? And then again you have I guess more of Eastern Bloc viewpoint that they were actually the oppressors, right?
Yeah.
And it's more or less related. Maybe I'm just going totally out of my reach now, but I think it was related to Germany during the war times.
Yeah.
Because as far as know, the story goes that let me just guess. So 39, the war broke out. 40, the Germans came in. I guess so. The Germans came in, and 41 or so, the
You would have
Russians.
to say.
The Russians got in, and I guess the Germans just left. So yeah, and I don't know at what point in time, but yeah, the 16th of March has become associated with the legionnaires,
Okay.
those dudes who fought. So it's a controversial date, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, we saw like the police barricades and stuff like that in
Today?
the city. Yeah.
Ah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah,
statue.
yeah, exactly. So you
Yeah.
maybe you saw somebody putting some flowers down
Mhm.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see any protests?
No, we didn't.
But we
All peace?
we
All peaceful?
Yeah, we started at like 2 o'clock. I think it was over by that time. I don't know. Like yesterday, we went there and the barricades were all up. Or
Mhm.
they built them at that moment, and now we got there and there was like only one line left. So I think it was over.
Might be the case. Because yeah, it used to be the case. I don't know when it started, but it used to be the case at least around 10 years ago. You had really almost like mass protests from, I think, mostly Russian-speaking folks,
Okay.
right? Saying basically fascism, right? So yeah, that's how it goes around in Latvia, I guess. So the question I always ask people, well, what brings you to Latvia? So
Do you want to answer?
He has been already, and we just thought about this trip we are planning right now, and like first destination really out of our comfort zone is St. Petersburg. I think like from Germany the best trip is through the Baltic countries, and that way we thought like going Lithuania, Latvia, and then Estonia, and that's why we landed in Riga basically.
So was the first stop Lithuania or
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, we've been to Prague.
drank some beer, I guess?
Drank some beer, right? Krakow and Warsaw, and then we went to Vilnius and now Riga.
All right. So what was your first intention when you were here first?
The first time I was here with my family,
Mhm.
and
I think that's a bit rare that somebody comes with his family to
Is it?
Latvia. I guess so, especially from Germany.
Is it just
It's the other way around. That people from Latvia go to Germany with their family to just buy some H&M discounts or something like that.
yeah.
we during our holidays, some holidays, we took the fair.
I don't know if to congratulate you or what. How come?
On a fair we went to Helsinki, and
I see.
then we kind of did a road trip back to Cologne.
Oh, with your car.
Yeah. So from
Damn.
Tallinn downwards, and like 3 weeks, made a stop in the Masoon
Hmm.
and did some sailing there, and yes.
So it's sort of a Northern European trip, family trip. Wow, interesting. So your plan? What's your final destination, or sort of the big destination?
India finally.
Well,
hopefully.
that's in general a big place to go, right?
yeah.
So,
true.
what
Yeah.
particular place?
So we're not quite sure yet. Like for India,
Really?
it's like the last month of our journey. So we have planned like 5.5 months.
Hmm.
And for India, we left it like kind of open We have our visum, and then we just see. But before that, we will fly from Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, to New Delhi,
All right.
and then we'll see, depending on the mood. Like either go to the desert, to Bangkok.
Bangkok is in Thailand.
Not Bangkok, Mumbai.
Mumbai.
Or to the coast. Yeah, we don't know yet, to be honest.
So what's your type of criteria then?
Um,
In a way, how do you plan for your trips?
Spontaneous, I guess.
As much as possible, spontaneous.
So we have the visa, so that wasn't not that spontaneous. So, but what we do in the time in each country, it's pretty random
All
at
right.
the moment. So we just see.
So you chose India for a specific reason, or just to see some sacred cows or something like that?
Now we were on a birthday of a friend of ours, and he just randomly dropped like, why don't do the Silk Route?
What? Silk Route. Ah.
And I was very keen.
Was it to India?
Well, there was one to Xi'an in China,
Right.
and also one to India.
Oh.
But we will skip, of course, like the Turkey-Iran part right now.
Why?
I
What
think
do you have against
especially-
those goat lovers? I guess
Yeah, I don't know.
because I follow the German thing, right? Where
Yeah.
what happened to that comedian who made fun of Erdogan?
He's still
Nothing.
he's
I
still
think
he's still
he-
running his show.
Yeah. So yeah, but he was close, right, to having some criminal sanction or something like that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because even was it last week tonight or something like that? One of those American shows. Even in one of those, even showed that look at that.
Yeah,
how it's going on.
the goat song, or
Yeah, that
however
as
you would
well.
like to call it. Yeah.
That as well. Yeah. So you are avoiding Turkey. Well, but come on, Turkey is not that.
Turkey's not that bad, but I think
Yeah.
in Germany right now it's like a little bit. Germans don't want to go there right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, most. Well, back.
But Turkish
like-
people still like Germany, right?
Yeah,
Yes, I would
Yeah.
say so,
Yeah.
I would say so.
Nice kebab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. But you got it here right also, right?
You know what the funny thing is? I always thought that kebab was actually invented in Berlin,
Yeah,
right?
I thought so too. But
But then again, yeah, we have some Pakistani kebab.
yeah,
So what?
true.
I guess everybody could put the kebab, right?
It's just basically meat in a bread. I don't know if you have really to come up with it, but yeah.
Yeah, sort of. So you're avoiding Turkey, Iran, and then everything else goes.
Russia. Well, for Russia, we are not that spontaneous. We have kind of a plan for Russia, so it will be St. Petersburg and then Moscow, and then go down to Kazakhstan, then Uzbekistan, and because Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, we needed a visum. We chose the dates there, so that's also not spontaneous. But Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan is visa-free for Germans.
Really?
I don't know if it's
Really?
for all people, but for Germans it is. So we can travel there however, whenever we want.
I guess then that's for specifically for the European Union then.
Could be, but I'm not
Interesting.
quite sure.
Yeah, I've never even thought about it. So what? So your total trip is 5 months then?
5 months, yeah.
Yes, until August.
Have you done something similar before?
Not at all.
Because you look, if you come here, right? I see you. You guys are young. I think shouldn't they go to school or something?
Yeah,
Right.
we finished last year. Yeah, I don't know.
So basically, it's what they call it.
Gap year.
Yeah, the gap year, right?
Yeah, true.
But it's not that popular in Germany,
No.
right?
It is so popular
What?
in German. Yeah,
Really?
I think like
I thought
I
it's
don't
it's a
know.
British thing.
More than half of our friends are doing
What?
gap year.
yeah,
Really?
Yeah, most of them in Australia. Oceania. How do you say it?
What's it?
Like Australia as well as New Zealand. It's this one big
Ah,
stuff there.
Oceania.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That one.
Damn, how come I didn't hear about that? I thought it's a British thing. I thought it's a British thing.
Yeah,
to have
maybe
gap
it
year.
like came over.
Yeah, and maybe also, so since a couple of years we have like just 8 years
Right.
since 4th grade, and before that was 9 years. And also a couple years back we had like a military service. So those things.
That was the civil service, right? You had the alternative to have the
True.
civil service.
Yeah. So.
But that was cut, and 1 year of school was cut. So
Really?
we have a lot of time.
Wait a second. Does it mean that you had some education reforms or
I
something?
mean,
Yeah,
so the
true.
school then days, the normal got longer.
All right.
But we cut a year, so now we are finished with 18, sometimes 17 even.
All right.
So, for example, I don't know what I want to do yet, so a gap year seems pretty nice.
So you have basically 12 classes, right?
Yeah, true.
Mhm.
And there are no more 13 classes.
No.
I've
Well, actually,
Because I've heard if you want to switch or something like that, you have to have an extra year or something like that.
It depends on the state of Germany. I think Berlin swapped it back again. There were two major states in Germany which went back from the idea. It was like three or 2 years where it was used,
Mhm.
Right.
and now they're going back because it just doesn't work. It's very stressful for the students, and
What is to have more free time?
no, to have one less year, and that for more school.
More
And it's
hours.
like everything is packed into 2 years of.
Sounds like a BS argument, right? Yeah, you're too much, so you need to work longer.
True.
Right?
True.
So wait a second. You have now, let's say, in different states, different either 12 or 13 year
It's
schools. What
pretty-
comes after that? Everybody goes to the university, and that's about it.
At the moment, a lot of people going to university,
Yeah.
and
Because
the
I
other
always,
option,
I always imagine just German engineer.
Yeah.
German
Yeah,
engineer.
true.
and the other option is what it's called again, a long internship.
Yeah, it's like
After the 12th class.
yeah, you
Yeah,
do.
really?
It's like in
yes.
German it's called
Abi-
Ausbildung.
Also,
Uh,
I thought it's Abitur.
no,
Yeah.
Abitur you do before, and then
Ah.
you either
It's
go
a
to
school.
study, or you
I
can
see.
do Ausbildung. It's like
working.
it's more handy,
All right.
most of it.
You
So
work at a company and then you get a degree, but it's not like a study degree. It's more like a technical degree. Like
Is it like I don't know if Germany has those. We have technical schools.
no, it's not.
no,
that
it's not like that. It's you work for a company, and besides the company, you also go to a school, but it's only like 2 days a week,
Wow.
and it's
And
only
what age? At what age?
right after Abitur, so 17, 18.
Seems a bit late, isn't it?
Late.
Yeah, late. Because look, what I meant by the technical school was you finish what's it called? The first 9 classes are called primary school,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? So you finish primary school. You have the option in Latvia, and I thought it came from Germany, that system, that after the primary school you have the option if you continue to go to what's it called, the secondary school, I guess, for 3 more years.
Yeah.
So in total 12 classes, or you go to the technical school.
True.
No.
And
That's
then
system too.
you have most of the time not 3 but 4 years, but you get a specialty.
Yeah.
So you
true.
learn a profession,
Yeah.
and you still
Yeah, it's basically
the-
the same, and so you could do it after Abitur, but it seems kind of unreasonable. Most parents of children who did Abitur really want them to go study at university, but you actually could do after Abitur or after 10 years, so it's called MSA in Germany, right?
wait a
Is
second.
it MSA?
Is that masters or something like that?
No.
MSA.
Master is university.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you
that's
either
right.
do 10 years and
Alright.
then do what you just said. I don't know, how did you call it again? Like
Technical school?
technical school, right? But
Yeah.
it's still like
I
half
guess in
company,
German
half
it should
school.
be. I guess in Germany it should be called Technikum. That would be a proper word for that.
It isn't. Or you could do it after Abitur. So that are like the two options.
Well, all right.
And for example, a friend of ours does both. So he goes to the technical.
Is he a
university.
masochist?
No. He finished school and now he's doing the technical.
All right.
And afterwards he's going to study because then he has better chances of getting a job.
And late at night he pins needles in his arm just for fun. Sounds like a bit too much intense work day.
I don't know, it's like 2 years of that and then maybe 4 or 5 years of studying. So it's like overall 6 to 7 years.
And that is after the 12.
Yeah.
That's after the 12 of normal school.
Noise, right? Noise.
Yeah.
And what does he become afterwards? So is he basically then what, 24?
He's
24, 25?
24, 25, around about
Yeah.
that.
So what is he? King
well,
of the state or what?
No, unfortunately not. Well, he can do many things. He can, of course, like during his time on university, he specialized himself, and
Alright.
he probably going to go in that economic spectrum.
For a long, long time, most of the time, right?
Yeah, but you could also like switch between it.
Oh, cool.
It depends. Like for example, like an architect could also go direction.
Just bake bread. Why
Mechanical.
not?
Oh, he could just bake bread, of course. Like.
Because I always associate Germany with a lot of bread, a lot of nice, nice fresh baked pastries.
Yeah. Well, we don't do like sausages or cheese, or not that often as you do. Like I've seen like
I'm not sure.
croissants with sausages in it and stuff like that.
Maybe. I would imagine that the Polish should have some sausage, some serious sausage.
Yeah,
But
you've eaten it in Poland, right?
yeah.
But
So-
we have a lot of bread, true. And that's also like one of those jobs you can do after 10 years. So you go to a bakery. You
It's
do
probably
three-
looked down upon, right? Sort of. I mean, you
Yeah,
wouldn't be
it
going
is.
to your parents. Oh, I want to be a baker.
Yeah, it is
Right.
a little bit. But right now it's like the wages are shifting again. So they
You
were
mean
very low.
Increasing,
Yeah,
decreasing.
increasing actually.
Ah,
They were decreasing all the time, but right now, like everybody wants to study on university, and nobody wants to be like construction site worker or stuff like that.
so
And
you're
that's why
just Poles coming in, Polish people just flooding Germany,
yeah,
right?
Many.
So what's actually the situation? Wait a second. Was the education system free in Germany?
Mm-hmm.
It is, yeah.
Oh.
You pay like 200 a month.
Oh, so you pay something.
Yeah, it's just for like you get a ticket for public transportation.
Okay.
You get food in the Mensa
All right.
and stuff like that, and that's what you pay for. So
Ah.
you don't pay for the study itself,
So
just books and stuff like that.
because I kind of thought that in Latvia, well, specifically in Riga, we have quite few German medical students.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not really convinced whether or not it's because they have to pay more for their studies in Germany, or it's just that
Probably
they
not.
didn't get in there,
They didn't get in.
so they come here.
They didn't get in.
Really?
Like medical, it's
Damn.
like you need a degree of 1.2 or 1.1
Yeah,
from
you
Abitur.
need to finish school very good. Like
So
one
what's
of
so what's the
best
grading system? We have from 1 to 10.
Yeah, we have from
You want to,
0.7 to
4.0.
4.0, because if you could do 4.1 or 4.2, but then you won't get your Abitur.
So it's what is it? The 4.2 is the baddest?
No, yeah, it's the best.
Ah.
Well, the baddest is 6.0, but
Ah.
then the best.
Why is it like that? Like
So it works
something
like,
point something. Why is it like that?
we have it's a little bit difficult. We have actually like usually we have grades from 1 to 6.
Yeah.
So
But
one,
who did invent that stuff?
Homework?
Like the Kaiser Wilhelm days?
yeah, probably, I don't know.
I don't
So we
know.
have like 1 to 6, and we have like differences between. There's also like plus and minus. So you could do.
Wait a second. You mean like in the American movies they always
Yeah,
show
A+.
A plus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
Oh,
like
that's just
first
just
of all like
just as funny.
1 plus, then 1 minus, 2 plus, 2 minus, and
And what do they represent? Some
Yeah.
0.5 or something?
yeah,
like that?
and yeah, kind of. And now you can convert
Right.
them to points between 18 and 0.
15.
So
just
no.
just for the
oh,
fun of it.
15, right? 18 is French. 15. So 1 plus is 15 points. 1 is 14 points, and going
And
on
then
like
you
that.
win the Sudoku. Or what?
Kind of. It's way too complicated, and then you go on and go on.
So what's the point of the conversion then? You get 15. So where do you put those 15?
Yeah, those 15 you then got on your marks.
Alright.
You multiply them by special courses and not special courses. Then
Really?
you put them all together, and then you divide them by as many courses as you have.
So wait a second. Were just people just bored out of their mind or what?
I don't know.
So what's the end game for that?
Yeah,
You
the
do
end
all
game
those
is after
calculations
you
and then
divide it, you get something between 0.7 and 4.0.
oh, all right.
And for example, like as you said, for engineering, you need round about 2.3, 2.5 to
Which
get
is
in,
decent, right?
which is decent. And for medicine, you actually need 1.2.
What does that mean? That the German doctors are such brainiacs?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, for example, if a lot of people want to become doctor,
Hmm.
they raise the degree you need to have because
Well, not all the time. For example, like right now, everybody wants to do engineering.
yeah, but most of the time, and also another criteria is the city. For example, in the big cities like Berlin and Cologne, the degrees you need to have are a lot higher.
Wait a second, Cologne is a big city?
Yeah, 1 million.
Yeah, it's the fourth largest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right.
So it's Berlin, then Munich or Hamburg. What is
Hamburg, right?
Hamburg, Munich, Cologne.
All right, all right. So, doctors are quite, competitive, I guess, then.
Yeah, yeah. But it's changing right now. There was a big discussion about that. That just because you were good in school, and also it's like in school you don't only do medicine stuff.
Exactly, that's the point.
It's kind of stupid. So there was a big discussion about like also considering like internships at medical research stuff and stuff like that, so
Mhm.
you can get into the university other ways. And right now it's kind of changing, but we see.
Is it really changing, or are just people talking
Well,
about
no.
changing?
Right now it's still talking. But for example, a friend of mine who really wants to do medicine, he's right now doing like ambulance. So he's driving. With
First of, why would that dude want to do medicine? What's the point?
He's just.
What
interested
skeletons does he have in his closet?
He's just interested in biology, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't looked in his closet, to be honest.
Because a doctor needs to go to school for what, 8 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
It's
7
really,
or
really,
8?
really long
Yeah,
time,
it's
right?
long.
Yeah, depending if you want a doctor degrees
Yeah,
or
true.
not at the end.
True.
Yeah,
So master is, I think, 5 years. It's 10 semesters, right?
because they have to go to school, and afterwards they have to for many years go to the
It's
hospital,
crazy.
right,
Like,
to work
you,
there.
First of all, you have to go to
Those
school
crazy
for
shifts.
12 years.
Yeah.
Then he has to go 1 year ambulance, so he gets like 1 degree better because he was 1.3.
Hmm.
Now he gets 1.2 and can get into university. And then he has to do 5 years for bachelor, again like 4 years for master. And then he's like a master student of medicine.
And after all that tedious journey,
He just
will
goes
be like
in a
a
hospital.
ching
He just goes in a hospital, and I don't know.
himself. He needs to go to his hospital himself, right?
For his mind, yeah, I don't know.
Are they well paid in Germany?
Yes.
Yeah, they are well paid. Well, it's also changing right now because many people are doctors, and if you go to your hospital, they don't get that much money. But if you have like a private praxis
Oh, clinic. Yeah.
clinic, yeah, kind of that, you will be well paid, especially dentists.
Ah, yeah. I guess those. Yeah, I guess those. Because they probably have those tax breaks as well for dentistry services. At least we have.
Do we?
I don't know.
Well, some sort of not benefit, but still a tax break in general. It would be considered, right? That you get some taxes back if there were specifically dentistry expenses for you, for instance,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least we do have those. So would you say that Angela Merkel is all fine with it? With that situation right now?
With the university situation, to be
Yeah.
honest, I don't know her point of view
Me neither, but
on this topic.
I'm not a fan, so I don't think she's a fan.
Because I remember basically two periods, right? There was Gerhard Schröder,
Mhm.
and then you have afterwards directly
Mhm.
Merkel,
I
right?
think so.
Yeah. So has anything been?
Well, I think we were
Changing?
too young. We were too young for Gerhard
Yeah. Well,
Schröder
actually,
to
you are
remember.
the perfect person to speak about that, right? Because you don't know anything in the past.
True.
You didn't experience that.
True.
It's just that it seems to me, well, usually people talk about Germany as the refugee savior, right?
Mhm.
And then afterwards, yeah, just the big industries, and well, I guess you had some scandals with the auto manufacturers,
Yeah.
but that's just everyday business, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think about the refugee. I don't know if you can call it a problem. I think Angela Merkel so far handled it pretty well. Of course, there are problems, but I don't think. I think it was you couldn't change it, so to say. Like, of course, there will be problems, but you have to help those people somehow. For example, I met many people that are just very nice. I met one who just was for 1.5 years in Germany, and he learned German for 1 year, and he spoke almost perfect German. Got an internship in a very big company with me together. That's why I met him. And then afterwards, he was sent back to his country.
Forcefully?
Forcefully.
Really?
Because
so to increase the workforce then?
No, actually, it was because he wasn't like a war refugee, but rather he was growing up in Iran, but not like the critical part, but rather like he was, or I can't quite remember. I think he was Pakistani and.
Wait a second.
Yeah,
it sounds getting tricky.
Yeah, it's really tricky. But the problem was like he and his parents, because they were from another country.
And he really liked Chinese food, so.
No, they haven't had any rights there, so he could only go to school until 9th class.
All right.
And that's why he came to Germany to go further on school.
Oh, so basically he was a student.
Basically, he was a student.
Just a foreign student.
And
so he didn't apply correctly then.
Well, he
Probably
did.
That.
He did like his refugee stuff as usually as everybody.
But if he did a refugee, then probably not the best option, right? If you had done foreign student, probably okay.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not quite sure why he was sent back. Like, there's this thing, if you come to Germany and you don't get how's it called?
Well, some humanitarian.
Asyl.
All right,
Asyl.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't get asyl, you can get like a paper that you can't be sent back for a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Or most of the time, I think it's 1 or 2.
All right.
And he had also Vormund. So it's like if you do a crime, this person is taking this crime on himself.
Well, sort of. He had not necessarily a supervisor, but he had somebody to look out for him.
Kind of.
Legally.
Well, and you get this person only until you're 18. Then he turned 18.
Yeah.
This person wasn't supervising him anymore, and his paper ran out. So it was only until 2017, last year.
Yeah.
And that's why he had to get back to his country.
Have you been in touch with him? What does he do now?
Since he has been back, I haven't been in touch with him. Unfortunately.
Maybe he's sneaking in as we speak.
Maybe. I don't know.
So what do you guys do? Well, in general, I mean, now you say that you don't really know what to do next. Mm-hmm. But so what is it that you have been doing till now?
We've been so we finished school.
Studying, doing your what's it called, the internships or something like that.
Abitur.
Yeah.
Then some internships, and then we worked just to earn some money for the traveling.
Oh wait a second, are you paying for your all expenses for the 5-month trip all by yourself?
Yes.
Oh damn, Germany's a nice country then. Right.
Yeah, you get like you have minimum wages.
Yeah.
So it's like about 8.90, I think, right now.
8.50.
8.50, yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of round about there.
Right.
And you get if you finish school and if you apply for studying, even if you don't get in, you get child support. So the parents get it. It's €350 a month, I think.
180.
180?
180.
Oh, okay, it's 180.
I kind of think in Latvia it's so like €30 or something. I think so.
Yeah, sure. And because we are away now, our parents just said, "Yeah, I'll give it to you because I don't need it. I don't have to pay for you right now." So
are you brothers?
No. Yeah,
but for me it's the same situation.
Basically,
so I get the child support from my parents, and then I worked half a year, and that's the money.
Was the work like the internship or just straight work?
So he did internships, but I worked at a metal factory.
Oh.
In the shift system.
So what did you do?
I packed metal.
So
there was laser cutting metal, and I took it and made it ready so it could be
Delivered.
shifted away.
You mean
exported.
like sheets of metal or something like that?
No, depending. Sometimes it was thicker, like this,
All right.
and then I had a magnet. But sometimes was like this thick, maybe like this, and then I just pull it with my arms.
But what are the dimensions? Like this?
Really depends. It was like it could be like this, and other times it could be just this, and then multiple things of this
So it's-
kind.
so
it
it's not-
depends on.
It's not the end product, right?
No. It was just like one part.
Hmm.
And there was another part in the factory which kind of put all the things together.
Yeah, I guess that's something quite specific. I'm not really sure how to compare that. So basically, you were standing in the factory. You had some product coming to you. Then
Most of the time was just like a big metal kind of
Mountain.
just
Yeah,
like
of some form.
a
Yeah.
plaid
Yeah.
form, and then I put it in the laser with a
Okay.
big magnet, and then the cutter product came out, and I just put it away.
And what's the company?
And what?
The company, the
Called?
metal company. Yeah.
Kohl und Sohn.
Yeah, never heard of it.
No, it wasn't that big, but it supplied, for example, ThyssenKrupp was
Oh,
like
yeah, alright.
one of their.
The Germans supply the weapons for us, but I don't remember how. I think it was also some firm with somebody and somebody.
It's so often
the,
in Germany.
the G36 rifles.
Nee, ich weiß wie heißt das?
Heckler & Koch?
Yeah, Heckler and Koch, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. So Germany's big on weapons, right?
Yes, they are at the moment. So that's also pretty critical, but so the Germans don't like it, the population, but
Come on, no, it's fair enough. Why would you say that they don't like it?
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it's a
many-
big part of your economy,
It
guys.
is totally.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the problem. But for example, we supply, for example, Saudi Arabia, and sometimes they do like things the German government isn't too keen with.
Well, I imagine you just make some critical remarks about that or something like that.
Yeah, it's like morally just like a problem, I think, for the citizens, as
Well-
well as
Well,
like,
but you have all your options, right? You can just you can ship them, but just attach a sticky note. Please don't kill anybody, or something like that, right? You can take the moral high ground if
we
you
could
like.
try. We could make them like pink or something.
Pink, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So anyway, so you worked in metal. So what was your internship?
Well, I did one internship at architecture
All right,
place and one at a design space.
all
I
right.
did like designs for factories, churches, and all kind of stuff.
So
And
buildings, right?
No, it was rather like websites, flyers, stuff like that.
Oh, so artistic?
Yeah,
Quite
artistic.
Oh, artistic work.
And then I worked for 2 months on a construction site.
Hmm?
We built an elevator. And for 3 months, we did like renovating. So we took old buildings, threw all the stuff out, like carpet, floor, and all that, and rebuilt it all
Mhm.
over. And yeah,
So you did that, saved up,
true.
and basically when you come back, you probably know already when you will be back, right? Around
Roundabout.
yeah.
End of July or August.
And then it's back to the drawing board, back to thinking up your future.
Yeah, probably.
I think maybe I'm just always generalizing, but I always thought, all right, Germans. So it will be you study, you learn enough, and you start working, and then beer and football. Sort of
I
like
think it
that.
changed over the last years.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, have you noticed if you are traveling and you've been traveling, have you noticed the difference in people? Let's say there's no real stereotype anymore. Well, sort of. There's so much integration economically, politically, culturally. It's just like, well, you almost see the same persons. It's just that they
Yeah.
speak different languages.
Yeah, like we said before, like especially like kebab, you get it everywhere right now.
Of course, of course.
And also like we we eat like all kind of stuff. We eat when we're in Krakow or in Warsaw or wherever we can eat Chinese. We can eat like American, whatever you want. So it's like really globalized, I'd say.
I heard that the Vietnamese control the ganja market in Germany. Was that true?
Ganja market.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, the weed market.
For example, Cologne is like near the border of the Netherlands, and it's it's legal there. So I think, for example, but I don't know. But I think a lot of it's coming from the Netherlands.
Is it legal here? No, it isn't, right?
No, I think in Germany it's more legal than here. Well, sort of. I mean, in Latvia it's definitely criminalized. Well, technically, look, Netherlands is the same, right? It's criminalized, sort of, but they just said, well, up to a certain amount, we just don't really bother.
True.
So yeah, but yeah, I've heard that the German and the Czech weed market is controlled by Vietnamese,
Didn't know that.
Me either.
and they trade, launder money, control the markets, like almost, I don't know what to call them. So not the supermarkets, but those
Black market.
well, black market as well, of course. But then you have probably also those
Coffee
sort
shops.
of like a farmer market, but just for different things, right? Not just for agricultural products. So those type of free open space markets.
I have never been to one.
You probably have some marketplaces, right? It used to be in the old days when you had still horses, right, to drive around, that you would do your stuff during the work days and go Saturday to the market, right?
So, you mean
To those types of markets.
Got you.
Yeah.
But you won't get ganja there.
Well,
Maybe
I mean-
seeds. I don't know.
yeah. Well, Germany is a big place. Have you ever thought of actually? Well, you probably didn't, right? To move out of Germany. You travel now, but sort of just to permanently live outside of Germany.
I've spent half a year abroad in the US.
Does that count?
No, but as I was living in the US, so before.
Did you get fatter? That's the real
Yes.
question.
Yes, I did actually pretty much. But I
Nice.
also before I went to the US, I was always like the smallest in class, and then when I came back, I was like on the higher end. So
Geo mode up.
no, I just I don't know. But as I was living there, and now that I'm back, I like to compare them, for example.
All right.
And I think Germany is better to live than in the US. For example, I like the school system more, because in the US you have to pay for the university. And also, I don't know, like I don't like the living there, because they are very dependent on cars. And
Wait a second. Coming from a German, isn't that just suspicious?
We're not that depending on cars. Like cars is more like a privilege for us. Like,
Oh, really?
You really want to if you got money, you really want to show that via your car.
No, all right.
And also, like, the cities are built like there's the main city where everybody's working. So I was living in Indianapolis, and there are like smaller city suburbs around.
Is that like a poor state?
No, it's Midwest. It's south of Chicago, Illinois. So I would say it's on the higher end, actually.
Wow.
So most of people live in the suburbs,
All right.
and then like drive 2 hours in the city, but 1 hour each morning.
Yeah, that's silly. I mean,
And
have you ever? I always basically divide between logic and American logic, right? And yeah, those type of things, just American logic.
Yeah. And also, I don't like the rule that you're just allowed to drink with 21, but can drive at 16 and own a gun at 18, for example. So just like a couple of things I don't like about the US that I like in Germany better. So that's the reason. I think Germany is a pretty great country not to visit, for example. I don't like it that much, but to live in I think it's one of the best.
Yeah, it's fairly decent. I mean, isn't it the most advanced country? Oh no,
I doubt.
I guess no. Because I remember I was in Germany in 2012, and I was shocked. They didn't have fast enough internet.
Yeah, the internet is so horrible.
I had to pay for every little thing I needed, which was free here. So I guess Poland has the best of it all, from old Europe and new Europe. I think they combine it the best probably because they have big supermarkets working 7 days a week, all those good
But
things.
that's very
Because Germans
special
still
in
don't work
Germany.
on Sundays, right?
Nope,
Yeah,
not at all.
crazy.
Well, I think the workers don't mind.
I think so. If you know it, you plan on it. So you go like to the supermarket on Saturday, for example, and then it's nice for the people who work at the supermarket. So everybody except of like the
Bus drivers.
stage people have a free day each week. So I think that's pretty good actually.
Wouldn't you say that it would be better to have more free days then in a week, not just Sunday?
Yeah, but
You are becoming
won't
more
work.
productive
Yeah,
as a
it won't
society.
work.
You can afford it. You can do it.
I doubt that it would work.
More automation, more systemic approaches, and only working 2 days a week.
Maybe we should try like two days a week for 24 hours, and then like 5 days weekend.
What's the normal working hours
Day
for
shift.
for a, mo-
40
for a,
hours,
for a week?
40 hours a week, so 8
Oh,
hours.
40?
a day.
Really?
Yeah, 40 hours.
Also, it's the same with Latvia. I somehow thought Germany had
Yeah,
less.
No, it depends on like if
or maybe
you are
France has less.
self-employed or
Well, self-employed, you can work all around the
yeah,
clock.
of course. But I think with self-employed, there was like a study I read it. It was like 45 to 50 hours a week.
You mean like the average?
Yeah.
So, but full-time employment means 40 hours a week then?
Yes, true.
Oh. Damn, I guess that's not good.
But break is took out of it.
What?
So you have like a midday break.
Hmm?
So for lunch and stuff like that, that's not in the 40 hours.
But
So
you do you usually 30 minutes anyway,
In
right?
my work.
Okay,
working
for me
place.
not for me.
So-
Construction site workers maybe are a little bit different.
But isn't the break just like 30 minutes and so?
Yeah, no, we did like 30 minutes for breakfast and 1 hour for lunch.
You had breakfast?
Well, we started at 7.
Ah, yeah,
Then
all
we
right.
worked until 9. We had breakfast at 9.
But then you probably had a 12-hour day.
Yeah, from 7 to 17. So
Oh,
10 hours.
yeah, sort of. Well, anyway, I would like to actually know. So you say Germany, great place. Have you been to Denmark?
Yeah,
No, I
once. But I was way
So?
too young, so I can't really say Kopenhagen.
Ah,
I can't really say it. My mom hurt herself there, and we went to a hospital, and she had to wait like I don't know for 3-4 hours,
Mhm.
way too long because she was bleeding here all over. So I didn't like that point, but maybe there's something good about it. For sure it is.
Because I have a theory that all the Germanic-speaking countries are the best. Well, simply because of the language. I think the language makes those people think differently. Well, in general, I think a language somehow leads you to think in a way, in a certain way.
Yeah.
So the Germanic languages, which are all Scandinavian,
Yeah.
except
Finland.
Finland doesn't count themselves as Scandinavian,
It's more like
right? So they are together with the Estonians, and I don't know, with maybe the Hungarians. I'm not sure.
okay. So is it Slavic or
Estonian, no. Slavic would be probably Russia, Ukraine,
so how
Poland.
would you call like
Serbia.
the language?
That one's Slavic, yeah.
So no, for like Finland, Estonia, or the
I know
Baltic
how to call them in Latvian. That would be suomugru, but in well, maybe I can just look around. Finnish language, right? Finnish language. I'm not sure if it is a Finnic language. That's
Alright.
just funny.
Baltic, Finnic.
Finnic language. Yeah. Baltic Finnic language. All right. So I guess in English it's just called Finnic languages. All right. Not too difficult. So you have look. I'm not sure why this is separate. Maybe it's related to Russia. Not sure.
Mhm.
Karelian or whatever. So Finnish, Karelian, Estonian. Yeah, that's about it then, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, the Scandinavians, all Germanic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Austrians, all Germanic.
They basically speak German.
Switzerland. Well, sort of.
Where depends which
Yeah,
part.
yeah. The Netherlands also, right?
Yeah,
And
it's
also-
like it's a kind of a mixture between German and English.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's the language. I'm not sure. Do you besides English, do you speak any other language?
Yeah, we learned French in school, but our French both of us is very bad.
It's kind of
just like-
horrible.
so we had it for 4
But,
years.
but many times I think the pronunciation in German is sort of, well, not necessarily similar, but still quite lends itself to being used also in French.
Yeah,
I think so.
I don't know. For me, French was a little bit difficult because there are like so many. If you use it like that way, it is spoken in another way than if you use it that way. So it's like, for me, it was really difficult. Just the pronunciation, the language itself was alright, and I really liked it.
Do you
to be
know?
honest.
Do you know a word that you find difficult to pronounce?
Oh.
I thought the German language is quite nice, specifically for pronunciation. Because you have those soft sounds in between many times, different vowels and stuff.
No, I don't think it's like a problem with pronunciation, but like in German we have also the same alphabet. For example, like we right now try to learn a little bit Russian, just for
because?
our travel.
Oh, all right.
And I think it's easier if you have a new alphabet and you can adopt that, so you have one sound
All right.
and one sign for it, because like we use the
You
same
know,
alphabet
they have a sign for no sound.
for no.
As far as I know, yeah, it's just that it's sort of not a diminishing sign, but still, when you see the sign, it means that you have to pronounce the word that you're speaking a little bit like softer,
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
right? But it's it's a part of the alphabet but if you see it just like that, you literally call it the sign for speaking
Mhm.
softer or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's
the pronunciation.
a sign. And I think like for me the biggest problem was like I had the same signs, but I had to pronounce them differently.
All right, yeah, fair
That was
enough.
kind of the biggest problem for me with French, and also grammatics was sometimes a problem.
Well, it's just nutty. Many times it's just nutty. I mean, there's no real logic,
Yeah, true.
right?
True.
I guess that would be some cases for German as well, right?
Germans like to think that everything in German is logical, but I guess it isn't. For example, like the things you put in front of a noun is
Article.
article, right?
Hmm.
So the article daddy does, it's like kind of random.
Oh, do you mean like the French have la le,
Mm-hmm.
True.
and you literally never know what would be the appropriate one for a particular word. You just have to remember.
Yeah, so that's easy for English, right? You
I
have
guess
only
so. I guess so. Sure. Wait a second. Isn't English Germanic language?
You should look it up. I don't know before I say something wrong.
I kind of thought it. It's
think
somehow related to
the Angelsachsen.
French as well.
I think so because the invaders of England.
So
were
it's a West
Germans.
Germanic language.
True.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So what's the territory then?
Hmm?
So here's Germany, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of difficult to believe that Bavaria would be in it, right? They're just on their own.
Yeah, Freistaat.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, there you go. All these countries are the richest in the world, right? Coincidence? I don't think so. Yeah. Well,
It's an
isn't
interesting
what's this?
theory.
The Czech Republic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Czech.
Yeah. So yeah, man, the Germans
And
are
there's also those little tiny spaces
beasts.
in Italy who think they belong to Austria.
Who? Here?
No, yeah, no,
Here?
yeah, right.
Who are they? You mean some
It's-
cantons or something like that?
Sorry?
What do you mean? Are those?
It's no country. It's like a part of Italy in the Alps who
all right.
speak German perfectly and would consider themselves, some would consider themselves as
And what is the
Austrian.
most wealthy, affluent region in Italy? The
Alps.
north.
Yeah.
Mm.
Man, you're lucky, dudes. I'm just telling you. Other than
Well,
that,
did you ever thought about moving out of Latvia?
Not really. I guess if you would compare it to other countries, that you could definitely see some fault
Mm.
that are well quite annoying many
Okay.
times, right?
Yeah.
But then again, if you have the well, I would say the IT infrastructure in
Mhm.
place, I guess that would be the most important thing right now. If you have that in place, yeah, Latvia is probably one of the best countries to live in. Simply because the options are, well, I'm not saying endless, but still, it's just that, yeah, you don't really see any, at least for me and for those people around me, there's no real, let's say, a specific boundary inside. Oh, I could go up to that and not 1 inch or not 1 centimeter further, right? So, yeah, don't be surprised if you see me president in some years, right? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
And yeah, I mean, if you compare the living costs, I guess you could say Latvia in general is just much more affordable, and of course the wages are smaller. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But some, I think in some industries it's more or less, well, not necessarily even, but still fairly close.
Yeah.
And then in many it's just, yeah.
The living prices in Germany right now are ridiculous, especially like for flats and stuff.
The
like that.
rents, right?
The
The
rents,
rents.
For example, supermarkets and food is fairly okay in Germany comparing to France or something.
And you know, many Latvians say, "Oh no, the food is just better in Germany."
The food is
Yeah,
better.
even the products that you would buy here, those same brand products are better than, and they rave about your laundry detergent. I was like, what? I'm just saying the persil is the same. No. So yeah, many people think, yeah, all those products which are for home use or gastronomic use, yeah, Germany produces those same brands just with more quality.
Okay.
And who knows? Well, then
Yeah,
maybe.
it's like kind
Maybe.
of made in Germany is also very important, I think, in Germany itself.
Because usually those brands that are German in Latvia, they are being sold mostly, I guess, from Poland,
Okay.
right? But I would imagine for the whole European Union, you should have all the same ingredients and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's those type of Volkswagen diesel situations. You never know with those tests. But yeah, other than that, I would say if I would speak only Latvian,
Mm.
I probably would like to move out of Latvia.
Okay.
Yeah, well, because I think once you have, let's say, English as a second language, it gives you a much broader scope to listen to other people. At least that, right? You listen to other people, you see other people's experiences, sort of in a way, and so you get a broader sense of what's happening. So you don't really think every time that the grass is greener on the other side,
Yeah.
right? Because I know many people who go, let's say, to work for, well, sort of 6 to I don't know how many months, save up, come back and do that again. I'm not really seeing the, let's say, the long-term benefit of that.
Yeah.
It's just that you fix some short-term hole.
Yeah. Well, we spoke to one person when we were coming here. We hitchhiked from Vilnius here, and we met this one woman who was just coming back for her dad, and she moved to Dublin from here.
Mhm.
I know from Lithuania, not from Latvia, from Lithuania, because she thought that the wages were too low, house prices too high, and that's why she said like Dublin has kind of the same house prices but higher wages. And she moved there with her husband and her kids.
Which is crazy because you probably would, if you would talk to Irish people, they would
True.
probably say, "Well, it's so
True.
just disaster
Yeah.
of an economy." Yeah,
Always point of view.
and the funny thing is, you will go to Russia.
Mm.
Yeah, be prepared to some probably. Well, that's the base minimum, I guess you could call it that.
Yeah.
Because they would probably. Well, you should definitely talk to some of them, but they would probably tell you that I guess that's even half the wages of Latvians.
Okay.
And Latvians have, I think, one of the lowest wages. I remember I had the Romanian dude here. He was so pissed at Romania just in general, right? The politicians are all corrupt. No real infrastructure. Nothing works. People are stupid and ignorant, right? And he told me, well, the wages are sort of like 300 euros, 400 euros a month. It's a decent wage, right? And I told him, that's a week's pay in Germany or stuff like that, right? So yeah. And he told me the German firms and stuff, and many other firms are coming to Romania. They are basically all outsourcing to that country. And since it's the European Union still, it's almost better than to outsource to some, I don't know, Indian.
I think it's often because of taxes too, because taxes in Germany are quite high.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, not as high as in Scandinavia, I guess, but many big companies like outsource their main central thing to. What do they usually?
Oh, you mean
choose?
those holding companies, right?
Sorry.
You mean those holding companies,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, in Europe probably it's most of the time either Ireland or Netherlands, I guess, for those holding companies,
Yeah.
because they have the least tax.
Switzerland sometimes, yeah. Well, Switzerland is just like banks, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, Switzerland has big industries, right? I mean, banking, finance in general probably would be considered a big industry, but I would say pharmaceuticals and engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these one, Logitech, is also from Switzerland.
Watches they can do for sure.
Oh yeah, well, this one's definitely not from Switzerland. This is from, I don't know what Asian country, which slave labor did that. But this one, Logitech,
Okay.
the speakers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go to Switzerland?
Yeah, my sister lives in Switzerland.
Oh, she's rich then.
No, she's a yoga teacher.
She's rich then.
Her husband is an architect, so. But yeah, she enjoys life there. I guess it's alright.
You're being modest, right?
No, she's not rich.
Well,
she's doing fine.
once you come back from India, dude, my sister's rich.
She has stayed 1.5 years in India. She did her yoga teacher degree there.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
She's 100. You're saying your sister went to India to get a degree in yoga?
Yeah.
That's powerful. That's powerful.
Yeah, she did like a world trip, and then she did actually 2. So first time she landed in Australia, and the friend she got there got a child from a surf teacher
In Australia.
in Australia.
All right.
Yeah, and
Crikey,
that's
mate.
why the first time she stayed longer,
Hmm.
and then the second time she did like another trip and ended up in India, and did there her yoga teacher thing.
Was that coincidental that she did the?
Yeah, it was.
Ah.
Both times it was like she only wanted to leave like for 1.5 in a year, and the second time for 1 year. But it was both times was longer. And she said to me that the both of us for sure won't come back in August. That was her saying, but we see.
In a sense that you will find something to stay longer for.
Probably.
Oh man, I'm not sure whether or not I remember correctly, but I think one dude told me, well, if you go to India, you have to know one thing: it's not a country. It's just I don't know, 30 different regions. You'll go to one place, it's one way. You go to another
Yeah.
place, it's totally different way.
Yeah.
And I guess, well, how do you prepare for such long trips? Let's say when it comes to safety. Do you have some first aid kit with you or something like that?
Yeah, we do.
Ah, yeah.
And for Russia, you need medical insurance.
Is that
So it's
is that like the? I'm not really knowledgeable about it, but you mean like is there a European insurance card or something like that?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. We don't have an insurance card, but it's for me it's ADAC. So you know. Maybe.
Yeah, that would be for the roads, right?
Yeah, but it does all kind of stuff.
Ah.
I think
Is it a
started-
state? It's a state agency, right?
Damn, I don't know. I
What does it stand for? Auto, Kokas, right? Something.
You just
ADAC. I thought they just rescued cars. Allgemeiner Deutscher Automobilclub. All right.
So it's overall
General German Automobile Club.
General German, yeah, automobile club.
And how funny is that? They just say, well, that's an automobile club, which is an automobile club. Right.
Yeah, and they actually right now they do also traveling insurance, and they've, for example, that plane right there, they fly you back from countries if you have like special insurances, so you can go in a hospital in Germany.
Oh,
You don't
sweet.
have to stay in that state.
So it's sort of a membership program.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of.
Ah.
And you have like different levels of
So
membership.
what's the fees?
I have the lowest membership thing, so it's like I think 14 euros a year.
Hmm.
And
And you will get flown with the
no,
plane?
I
Damn.
won't. But
Ah.
they will pay for, if I hurt myself, for hospital stuff up to 30,000 euros.
Hmm.
So it's alright for 14 euros.
And they will cover the trip through India,
Yeah,
everything.
It's worldwide insurance. I think.
it's
Do they-
worldwide.
But if you would decide to go to North Korea, what then?
I think they would cover too.
I don't know.
Really?
I'm not.
You're not insured?
No, my mother is working for the state. So a couple of years back, when she started working for Telecom,
Hmm?
it was still a state company. So
Oh, that was a long way, right? Long time ago.
I think like 30 years, I would say. No, 20 years.
So,
20 years.
yeah.
So that's the reason she gets like special insurance, and
How come? What's
yeah, because
all
because
state
she's
members.
Yeah,
all
she
people.
works for the state.
Yeah.
So like policemen and all those kind of people get extra
I
insurance.
heard that you had the pensions that are the special pensions for state employed people. That there's some regular retirement plans
Yeah.
for people, and then for state.
Yeah, for state
Personnel
people, it's
retirement plans.
everything special. They can't get fired. They get a special amount of money.
But they are not pretty well. The
Not that
the
well
working
paid.
conditions are not that
No.
great, right?
They get special insurance. What else do they get?
For example, teachers have more holidays.
Yeah, teachers have more holidays and stuff like that. So it's like a benefit.
Yeah.
And so so because I'm her child, she can insurance over her account.
Oh, that's
kind
interesting.
of.
That sounds reasonable.
Yes.
Because I think nobody even has heard anything about such things in Latvia.
Yeah,
That you would be employed, and that's why your offspring would be somehow
But
secure.
if I would start to work, which I did, like for the 5 months, I need to get an insurance myself. It's just like as long as I'm going to study.
Is it you mean as insurance for medical reasons in a sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it's for
Ah.
medical, but it's also for.
It's not the social insurance, right? It's social
It is-
security. It's not.
No, it's not that, but there are a lot of insurances you have to get if you work. So it's medical insurance, social insurance, and yeah, Renten, retirement insurance, and stuff like that. So it's way too much what you have to consider. You also could consider if you hurt yourself during your work and you can't work at that place anymore, you could insure yourself for that. So you get
Oh, the loss
money.
of income, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
kind of.
Yeah. Well, I think the social security is somehow similar in Europe,
Yeah, but
or at least becoming.
yeah, the problem is we have like private insurance and public insurance.
Yeah, and I guess private insurance is the way to go.
Is way better, but if, for example, like we worked, you can't get private insurance because your wage wouldn't be enough for the private insurance. So you have to get normal insurance
Tough luck.
or public insurance, true. And if you earn more, you could get private insurance. And I was also insured via my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to change it because right now I had to work, and then I had to change it back, and it's way too complicated. Sometimes Germany is just too complicated, I guess.
It's probably automatic, right?
No.
Most of the things.
It-
Do you have to fill out each formula yourself and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Wait, how do you file your taxes? Electronically?
You could do that, yeah, or you could do it by hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think we didn't. I think we don't allow that anymore.
Yeah, you can actually. Yeah.
No. I mean in Latvia, I think we since 2000 11, 12.
Mm.
You have the primary way to file your taxes, do all your declarations, is through the internet.
Yeah.
And then if it's something is so special, something doesn't work right or something like that, then you have the right to go to the
Okay.
state tax agency and say, well, I need to file something
Yeah.
written.
Yeah, we got this. Yeah, you could do it on the internet, or otherwise you get like, I don't know, 7-8 sheets, and you have to fill like how much did you earn, how much did you pay for this insurance, and you have like taxes all over the place and taxes for church, and it's
Oh,
way too
that was a
much.
funny thing. A Roman Catholic. I don't know what her position was, but she was basically a Roman Catholic working for the Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah.
She told me, well, in Germany, what's it called, the faithful? No, well,
Yeah.
those people
Yeah.
who are
Yeah.
in the confession,
Mhm.
they have to pay the tax.
Yeah, true.
Is it true?
Yeah, it's true.
I think it's 10%,
So funny.
isn't it?
So funny.
It's a lot.
And my question was, well, what does that mean that those people are just going to church because of it? I mean, if I would get paid so much, in a sense, I need to pay so much,
Mm.
I would really consider if I want to stay in that
True.
church, right?
Many people consider that. For example, my father left the church because of that. He wasn't like very faithful, and he thought like, why should I pay for it? I go like once a year or twice a year to the church.
And once so some registry exists, I guess then, and then once you are out of the registry, you don't have no tax is being
Yeah.
paid.
True.
Oh, so interesting. I guess you are the only country in the world, right?
I don't
With
know,
that.
to be
Vatican
honest.
City, maybe.
I probably don't have any employees, right?
No.
All because then again, it seems to me that Germany is financing the Vatican with that, right?
Could be. Like there was this one
Should be.
scandal was how
Hey,
was it
where's
called?
Ratzinger? Where did Ratzinger go?
I don't know.
He was the first in a long time to just resign, right?
Yeah.
The Pope.
I don't know. What happened to him? To be honest.
I guess. Could you tell me what do you consider the, well, at least some of the most important things when it comes to the, well, global media landscape for you? Let's say you guys are both young,
You start.
active, right, doing lots of things. So what do you follow when it comes to the, well, sort of news, sports, politics, economics?
Yeah, so for example, I follow a lot of NBA.
NBA.
Yeah, but
Oh, alright.
it's because I play basketball.
Wait, so Nowitzki is still playing, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Is he?
Good. Yes, he does. But he's pretty old. I think it's his last year or maybe one more season. But because it's at night, I can watch it or do not watch it.
You just
Maybe the finals, but it's at 3 a.m. in the morning and I don't want to get up. So if you want to see the news about the NBA, I use just Instagram. So I just follow channel there. And then sometimes, so we have the newspaper each morning. which
What? Still? A newspaper?
No,
Yeah.
just online.
No. We still have the newspaper.
Yeah, we also still have the newspaper. To be
For
honest.
breakfast.
I mean, we do
like a
have,
tradition.
we still, of course, we do have newspapers, but yeah, I guess I don't know anybody who still uses those.
Is it? Do you have to buy it in the store, or will they also bring it to your door?
Yeah, both ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get it brought to our door. That's what I read sometimes, and then I don't know,
Where
just pick
you,
up
where you take your pipe, you just lean back.
That would be my stepdad. Yeah.
Real?
Yeah.
For real. Yeah, and then I just pick up the news. Sometimes watch the main.
Yeah.
News
Probably
channel.
just watching the Garfield comic in the newspaper.
Yeah, most of the time I just read the sport article
Hmm.
because for national local soccer team.
Oh, wait a second. Local soccer teams are quite huge in Germany, right?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True.
Some local Nuremberg Dynamo or something like that.
Not for me, but he's more keen in football. I'm not. I like to play myself, but I don't like to watch.
Yeah, true that. So you would say sports as the general news that you would
Communication
that you
probably
follow.
That I follow, it's definitely sports.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
Well, what I follow, it's kind of difficult. I'm kind of into art, so I actually deleted Instagram. I don't use Facebook anymore, and I try to don't use WhatsApp.
Is it because of some philosophical grounds? Are you becoming a vegan?
Yeah, I am. Well, I was vegetarian for 1.5 years, so maybe it's about that. But I don't know. I don't like. Of course, it's a state of mind. I also could change it while still using WhatsApp, but I don't like this chit chat kind of stuff. So I just want to say like, let's phone then and then, and let's meet then and then. I don't want to chat with anybody like, how are you? What are you doing? Like that stuff. It's not my cup of tea. And Facebook, I think it's so much irrelevant stories and news and stuff like that. It's just not for me. I like to go on the internet, just Safari or Maps, Google, whatever, stuff like that, or sometimes YouTube for artistic stuff and news, and that's it.
And cat videos, don't forget.
Not for me, thanks.
Wait a second, are you really not into entertainment?
No, not really. I
don't believe that. You probably watch some
to be honest, no. Like I watch.
I don't know, some films, TV shows, maybe documentaries.
I don't watch TV. I don't.
Well, I mean, not particularly the TV. I mean, if you have the internet, you have TV, sort of.
Yeah, well, I don't watch TV. I have no Netflix, no Amazon Prime, no stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have my computer, but I usually use it just for drawing myself. So computer drawings and for employment, I'd say. And I have this phone, my nice phone.
Oh, the old school phone? You have old school one? Yeah, at least the battery must last.
Yeah, true. 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 6 if I use it right. And I have also an iPhone, but right now I quit using it, I think 1 month before we started our journey. And
Meaning that you left it?
No, I took it with me just for maps and stuff like that. But I don't.
Of course, just for maps.
I don't like to use it. Yeah, also YouTube. I just, if you would ask me what I watch for entertainment, it would be really like just videos of artists drawing something. Maybe most of all artistic stuff. Sometimes like irrelevant, stupid things.
That's what YouTube's for.
Yeah, it is.
Of course.
But to be honest, I hate it. I was thinking about quitting that too, because I think it's such nonsense. I would rather just like draw myself or read a book or stuff like that.
Also, do you read books as well?
I do. I'm not as fast as he is. No, we bought 2 books and he started reading, and I was like, I have to be in the mood, I'd say.
Oh, so you don't have a consistent
No.
routine or something like that?
No, for sure not.
Well, are you getting into that? I mean, if you
Into
are,
a routine.
if you are getting, let's say, all those old school devices and all those new flashy technologies are not interesting you, then you have a bit more time.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, I don't have a routine, but
Well,
I started reading.
It sounds like you are quite mindful, for how to prepare yourself for the day, how to actually live, how to construct your lifestyle.
Well,
Sounds like it.
right now I like to.
Or maybe you're just showboating now, and that's about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think right now I'm spontaneous, or try to be spontaneous.
Well,
Overall, like, of course, during school, I of course used I went to school, I came back, I watched YouTube, maybe watched some TV, ate something, read something, go to bed. Kind of that was my routine. So it was like books and media, like moving media or however you want to call it.
If you're artistic, then probably media would be a good place to go, right? To work in media.
What would you call media? Like, you could also do something on paper and put it like in your supermarket on the wall and write your name under it and say like.
And then you don't get the exposure that you would get
Probably
otherwise.
not. Probably not. Yeah.
Because honestly, if it wasn't for the internet, I wouldn't have probably heard most of the world's art, right?
Yeah.
Because I think the recent artistic work I heard was speaking about religions as well. Have you ever heard of the Piss Christ?
What Christ?
Piss Christ.
No.
I think it was called Piss Christ. Let me just get that ready. Should be somewhere here. Yeah. Oh, it's a immersion and then Piss Christ. Yeah. So, I don't know if it's a photograph, but the basic idea was there was a museum, or it still is. One dude just put a cross in a jar of piss, and that's the exhibition.
And
That's called art, my friends.
nothing else. Yeah,
Piss Christ.
I'd say art depends on what you like.
Thought provoking.
Thought-provoking.
Thought provoking.
For sure.
Yeah, and only because of the internet that you see those masterpieces, right?
Yeah, true. Of course I use the internet for research and stuff like that, for artistic research, I'd say. And also nonsense research. I don't want to say that I don't use it at all, but
I mean, it's so easy to get into a rabbit hole.
yeah, true.
So easy.
True.
Yeah.
And that's what
We
I
are
don't
weak.
like.
We are weak.
Yeah.
We are weak-minded. I guess we have spoken more than 70 minutes. I guess YouTube, well, no, not YouTube, Facebook will not upload me if I go any longer. So
Okay.
we can wrap it up.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck for the trip, right? I hope you will have many good impressions about Latvia. You'll be still staying 2 days, right?
2 more days, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll probably get to know the city a bit more, Riga, and yeah, do some comparisons with all over the world. What are the benefits and pros and cons, right?
We see.
Yeah. All right. Good luck. Thanks.
Thanks.